Good morning. So, something that is coming through to me very strongly this morning is this knowing that the more that I open up to the universe, the more that the universe, divinity, the flow opens up to me. It's like a two-way street. The more that I am in allowance and the more that I am letting go of trying to force certain things or getting stuck on certain aspects, the more that I'm allowing, the more the universe is showing me new paths, new ways, opening up for me, and It seems like I'm in receiving mode. I'm also a more. It seems like there's more of a flow, so it's more of receiving and putting out. Um, these have been these last. This last week has been the an emotional roller coaster. I think that there are energies that are coming through in this past week that are it's like there is a we're going up a level of consciousness. It's like we're coming through, you could almost see it like the atmosphere around the earth. And when you come into the atmosphere, you have to burn through this layer. And it feels like that. It feels like this past week has been like burning through this layer, going up a notch. We're going up a notch. All of us that are connected to this same energy force, we're all being brought to a new level of our spiritual awakening, overcoming. And something that I've also been able to see is that it's not all done in the mind. There are so many things here that are out of our control that when we try to control them, we are actually stopping them from happening. There are a lot of changes that I can feel that are happening within the body itself, within emotions that are coming up that aren't connected to thoughts or feeling sensations that are coming up. Um, this morning during meditation, I could feel the energy in my chakras coming into. I did put in a request. I did request for releasing of the pain, that I don't want to be in the pain anymore. I want to go through to the next level. And I can kind of see it when I'm in meditation. I can see like these portals that we're going through. And as we're going through into the new level, there is a certain amount of pain that we go through, but we can pass through and release the pain. So I was requesting to release that pain, and I could actually see in my mind's eye like this, it looked like a claw holding my heart, and that I was peeling the fingers with the fingernails out and removing it, and also asking to release anything that I'm holding, including my twin flame, or including any kind of expectations around that, and also asking for a partner to come in, asking for a partner that is tangible, something that is from this world, not something that I have to make up scenarios or that is elusive, something that is tangible, something that comes in that is in the physical world. Um, I feel like I'm ready. I don't feel like I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. But with there, I'm not waiting for anything. Something comes in, I'm ready. And so it's not like I'm forcing anything, but I did let the universe know that I'm ready. Um, and that I want something that is more tangible, something that is more in the physical world, something, somebody that I can build a partnership with, somebody that I can build a life with, somebody I can spend my time with, somebody that is there at night to hug me, somebody that is accepting of me, that I don't feel like I have to uh, do all this work to be accepted by them, but that I do have a spiritual connection and do still expand with. So putting that out there, and now I'm releasing it and trusting, because I understand that there is a divine intelligence that is much that has much more knowing than I know, and that it knows exactly how these things need to unfold or will unfold. It is, there is everything is timeless. And so I'm an allowance. But what I've noticed is that the more that I open up to the universe, the more that the universe opens up to me, and the more gifts that I receive. And yesterday, I met with my twin flame in the evening. He was here by the spring, and I got to see him and spend a couple of hours with him. It was really nice. I always enjoy my time with him. We have the same, I always feel like I expand when I'm with him. And I'm going to pause this for a minute. So during this spiritual awakening, we start going through these portals, and we start realizing and finding all these other realms and other worlds that we can enter into. And yesterday, I received a message from my great grandfather, and the message was a very simple message. It was keep busy. It was stay busy. Um, there's so much to this message, and the message came at the exact right time. And another part of his message was that in idle minds breed havoc, and they breed. It was a message that came through kind of energetically. So it's if when you have an idle mind, you start focusing on things that aren't important, or you start getting into mind loops. So his message was to stay busy. And it touches me on so many different places, because one of the places is that I know that how the universe works, you have to create some kind of movement in order to allow things to come into your life. If you're just sitting on the couch, nothing's going to come into your life. As you create movement in your life and you start going through things, meeting people, putting yourself out there, doing these movies, as you start moving and touching things, you create stimulation. And through the stimulation, you create avenues in which things can enter into your life, and which things can also go through you. So you create movement and a flow through your life, and that's how your life develops and opens up for you. So to create action and to keep busy, because one thing leads to another. You start this channel, and then it inspires me that I want to open up another channel. I've already talked about this in the past. I want to open up another channel that is very devoted to the twin flame subject, um, and then keep this channel, because I kind of feel like on this channel I talk about also the spiritual awakening, but also about the twin flames. And it is, I think that there are two separate subjects that, um, anyway. So, but by opening up this channel, it opens up these other avenues. And it also, if you would have told me a couple years ago that I would be opening up a video and talking about my life freely and flowing, it would have been alien to me. So as I create this movement, I create more opportunities and more options for myself, and more creative. One thing leads to another. You can also see in the videos that I make that one develops from the other. And so you have to kind of create some kind of action in your life and some kind of movement in your life in order to create more things that will open up for you. So his message to me was stay busy, keep movement, keep action in your life. And my great grandfather died the year he died in 75, and I was born in 76. So, and then when I met my twin yesterday, he was telling me about this Netflix show, because I told him about that message that I got, and it connected for him to this show that he's watching on Netflix, something about a medium that's named Tyler something or other, and how he speaks with the dead, and the dead come through to him. And that just like it, in my mind, it set off a spark. It set off okay, there are so many different realms. When we go through the spiritual awakening, we start entering all these different realms, and you start seeing these doors into different realms. And you can kind of, when you go into these deep places, the deep meditation, you can request to go into these doors. You can request to receive, because you're connected to the ethers anyway. You're connecting to the all. So as you go into the connection with the all, you can request gifts that you want to come to you, and in any case, things that you are prone to be capable of, or prone to, that you are connected to, um, by nature, you will be drawn to. And something in what he said really sparked something in me, like this knowing that that is an option for me, especially with the messages that are coming through. Um, and so I am putting in a request, also put in a request, after my great grandfather spoke with me yesterday. And that was before that he told me about the Netflix show with that medium. Um, all of a sudden it hit me like, oh, wait a minute. There's something here for me. There's something here. And all of a sudden I realize that 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 is available for me, and it always has been available for me, and that it's just listening through a different way of through a different sensory level. So that it's the same connection. It's the same connection to the ethers, and that has always been coming through me. And all of a sudden realizing that gives, like, it's just like anything. It's just like art. You have a talent in you. And a lot of people have this amazing artistic talent within them, artistic talent for music, or for painting, or for drawing, or for words, or for whatever. And that talent was never nurtured. And so that talent was never developed, but it's still in there, and it's still dormant. You still have access to it once you realize it. That's why sometimes you can see these amazing artists that began painting when they were 60, or began painting once they had quieted their mind enough to to um, to connect to that talent. And so something came down into me, like this knowing that, wait a minute, that is there. In any case, I know that it's there, and it needs to be nurtured. It's something that has to be um, given practice to, in order to develop it, because it's like learning a language. It's just like learning. It's just like going through the spiritual awakening, and then it's like learning the language of the universe. When you start realizing that the universe is speaking with you, and you start understanding the language of the universe and how it speaks to you through nature, through everything, because everything is patterns, then slowly you start developing and nurturing that talent, or that language that you're learning. And so it's the same thing. You have to know how to listen for it. You have to develop it. You have to, first of all, know that it's there, and know that it's an option. And then once you know it's there and know it's an option, you have to learn the language of it and what it sounds like when it speaks to you. And so that is a way of developing um, your talents. And the more that you open, and this is what I was talking about in the very beginning, that the more that I open myself up to the universe, the more the universe opens up to me and reveals myself to me. So, like, these talents that are coming through, when you start learning how the language of the universe and how it works, how sequence of events happen. So yesterday I felt my great grandfather give me a message, and it said, stay busy, stay busy. And you start moving, you understand that it's him speaking, but it's kind of like it kind of comes in shadowy. It kind of comes in this way that is above this 3D world. It's kind of comes in from the ethers. but it comes in as a knowing. And it's kind of like you have to listen inwards for, because it doesn't come from the outside and come in and say, "Whoa," like, like you would see the burning bush. It comes from inside, and it comes in a way that if you don't know how to listen for it, then you would just think it's your own mind. But it's a little bit different than your own mind. It comes in from like an echoing place. It comes in from a little bit of a different, it's just like channeling. When you're channeling messages, the channeling, you get into this flow and you're connected you're connected through this portal to the ethers, but it's coming into you through your consciousness, and then you are filtering it through your mind, and then it's coming out, and then you are able to filter it and give it back to the world, right? So it's like this flow. So listening to people that have already passed is like connecting also to this, you could say, room. It's not even a room because it's not separate from, but it's an energy. It's a certain realm. And you connect to that realm through this portal because we're all connected. And in that place, it's timeless. That's where you also connect to past lives. That's where you also connect to, so if you're connecting to past lives, you have this capability of also connecting to other lives. It's kind of coming through the same portal. I can see it energetically. And at first, it's like a trinkle. It's like a drop. You get a drop, and you think it's you. You go through your life thinking that it's you. But once you start noticing it and understanding that this is something that's outside of you coming into you, it's not really outside of you because you're connected to it, but it's coming from a different realm. It's not you. It's not your ego. You have to transcend your ego in order to connect to these places. And then once you start connecting, you start realizing what it is. It's like you open the door. It's like opening this. You start opening the portal, and the portal becomes wider and wider. It's just like when you. It's what I was saying in the very beginning. When you open yourself up to the universe opens up to you because it's a two-way. It's like, imagine like a circle that's opening. It's going both ways. You can go back and forth, or you can kind of be in the middle and kind of be a bridge, in this body, a bridge to this other realm. Like, she's cleaning his ears. Oh, you're getting a show here. She cleans his eyes too. So she's cleaning his eyes now. So that is how to listen for and be able to speak to those who have already passed, and speak to the other. And this is something that all of a sudden it came to me like, because my great grandfather gave me a message and I didn't think anything of it. I just randomly told my twin yesterday when we met, oh my, I got a message from my great grandfather, and it sparked something in him that he has been watching this show, and that he's also been asking for these talents of speaking, being able to communicate with people that have already passed on. And all of a sudden it hit me like, oh, that is actually what I was doing here. And that is actually something that I have always in my inner being somehow known. And so all of a sudden, the message also that my great grandfather gave me of keeping busy, because yeah, I've been keeping busy, but it seems like there's more that I'm supposed to be doing. Because when you start fulfilling your what your mission is here on earth, when you start feeling like you're fulfilling it, it opens up to you more and more. And by doing these videos, I feel like I'm doing my God's work. I'm allowing myself to be in full expression, and whatever wants to come through can come through. And I'm just allowing it. And in doing that, I feel like I'm doing my God's work, but I feel like there's more. Like, I am always in the feeling like there's more. Okay, so I'm building my site so I can bring everything together, and then I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So I have one foot on the ground, one foot in the 3D world, because I do have this body that I have to take care of. But in another way, it feels to me like I have this feeling that it shouldn't, that when you get into your natural flow and you're in your true place and in your nature and fulfilling your destiny or fulfilling your what you have come here to do, that it shouldn't feel, it should be much more flowing. It shouldn't be something that you have to work at or force yourself to do. And in the understanding of how things are opening up, as I start moving, one thing leads to another, one thing leads to another. You create some kind of motion in your life, and then things start opening up for you. And as they open up, things are becoming easier and easier. And I'm seeing how providence works. And all of a sudden, I'm doing my God's work, and all of a sudden, providence is opening, opening, opening. It's more and more and more. And and by creating this action, I'm getting more and more into the place where I need to be. And this is also a message for whoever is watching this, because this is something that is I'm going through personally, but all of us that are connected to the same realms or to the same energy fields, we are going through this collectively, each individually in their own life. It may be playing out in different ways, but all together we're going through this as a collective as well. The more I know that the more that I am connecting to the ethers, the more that all of the people that are on my same energy, in my same energy field, are also feeling that connection more and more. And through the realizations that I'm having in my own personal life, you can realize things through you in your personal life that are also playing out for you, that are similar, similar patterns. Not maybe not exactly the same thing, but similar patterns, or similar, that you can get something from this for yourself. And so I'm realizing that the more movement I create in my life, and that was the message that my great grandfather gave me, the more movement that you create in your life, the more things have opportunity to open up for you, and the faster they can open up for you. And just him speaking with me was the gift that I got yesterday, because look how quickly it opened up. He came and spoke with me. It was in the morning. And then in the evening, I met my twin, and then that whole thing opened up. And by this morning, I was already, yesterday when we were talking, it didn't quite open up, but there was a spark there. There was like, wait a minute. And then last night I watched I think the first episode of that, or maybe I didn't even get all the way through before I fell asleep. Um, but all of a sudden I realized that, wait a minute, I have that in me, within me, in my capabilities. And so it's like, it created this motion in my life that is fast motion. Like all of a sudden, duck, 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 things are opening up, and it's by keeping busy, by creating motion, by creating movement in my life. So the more I open up to the universe, the more the universe is opening up to me, and the more I'm able to see. So thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this here.